Hey everybody, it's Alex, and it's springtime. The birds are singing, flowers are blooming, and in this video what I'd like to do is show you how to deal with two sort of related issues. Those are weeds and nutrients. So I live on about a half an acre, it's actually a little less, and only about a quarter of an acre is arable. And for the last couple of years I've grown about 500 pounds of food a year. So I'm always trying to figure out ways to get nutrients, but I don't want to buy fertilizer. If you are a small home gardener who is into self-sufficiency, you're probably trying not to really buy fertilizer. I haven't bought fertilizer in years. The nutrients that I use to fertilize my plants are completely homegrown. So instead of a linear agricultural paradigm where I'm buying inputs to put in the ground and then get outputs and then buy more inputs to put in the ground later, I'm trying to circularize my garden economy. And so I said at the beginning that I have two related issues here, weeds and nutrients. I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to turn weeds into nutrients. This is not composting. This is a little different. I find composting to be a pain. I do it, but this is actually a little easier and it serves a lot of my nutrient needs. So let me show you what I do. So if you are like me and you're a small gardener at home, you get tons and tons of weeds. I mean, these are just dandelions that I picked in the last couple of days that Kristen and I both picked. And it's a waste if you just, throw them in the trash or toss them out in the ditch or the woods or whatever. They are packed with nutrients. In fact, a lot of weeds are actually quite a bit better at withdrawing nutrients from the ground than domestic crops are. I've heard them called mineral pumps before. They're just great at pulling nutrients out of the ground. But the problem that you often have with weeds is that what do you do with them? If you just toss them, you're running the risk that they spread their seeds all over the place, plus it's just wasted nutrients. So my solution here has to do with killing the weeds and their seeds. So we can see in these dandelions, some of them are puffing out here. And it kills them very quickly, and then once it kills them, it helps you to extract their nutrients really efficiently and then distribute those nutrients to your garden whenever you need them. So what I do here is I've got these nice Tidy Cats buckets. Any kind of bucket with a lid will do. And what I have done here is I've submerged my weeds in some water. So this is several pounds of dandelions and lots of other weeds that I have just really jammed into this bucket and then covered with water. That's important. You need to submerge the weeds. So what this is doing is it's killing the weeds. It kills them in just a couple of days. You'll notice that they turn brown and kind of start to shrivel and soften. So just pack this bucket with weeds, fill it with water, and it will start to decompose on its own. And what's great about this is, for one thing, it's scalable. So you can use a really big container if you want, like this guy. This just has rainwater in it right now, but it could be used for the same process. I think of this as synthetic manure, but you'll probably hear me call it weed water. So not only is it scalable, so you can have as big of a weed water operation as you want, it's also adaptable for sort of your timing. So this is a bucket of weeds that I've had decomposing for around a week, maybe a little less than a week. Even if my weeds are partially decomposed, I can continue to add weeds. You don't have to stop. If it's partway through decomposing, there's no reason that you have to say, oh no, I have to put the brakes on that and I can't use that one anymore. But you do have to realize that once you have submerged your weeds, you really should not use this water for nutrients for, I would say, a minimum of 3 weeks in order to kill all those seeds. So any seeds that you submerge in the water, they will sprout, they'll germinate, but then they'll suffocate. That's what kills the weeds here, is they actually suffocate. So if you're going to put fresh weeds in there, make sure to give them a solid 3 weeks to decompose. That's why I have several buckets here, so that while one of them is kind of bubbling, I've got others that are ready to go. And so I'll show you what those look like right now. Okay, so this is a bucket of weed water that actually has been decomposing and sort of fermenting since the fall. It's spring now. So this has actually been sitting over the winter time. So you can leave this sitting over the winter. It's actually a great way to deal with autumn weeds that you're pulling up. Just dunk them in a bunch of water. And over the fall and in early spring, they'll decompose and they'll produce some more of this nice weed water. One drawback with this is, for one thing, it stinks. It smells absolutely awful. That's why I think of it as synthetic manure. It smells like a pig farm. Again, that's a good thing. That means that it's drawing nutrients out. The other issue with using this is that you have a whole bunch of stems and leaves and stuff that are sort of mixed in with this water. So you need a way to separate them. So I'll show you the way that I do that. So I'm going to show you how I kind of separate out the solids from the liquids here. You want the liquids. So one way that you can deal with this is to just pour it from the bucket. That's actually what I'm going to try right now. This gets to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to just pour some from the corner, try to land it in my colander. And this will actually separate out most of the solids from the liquids. Notice I'm wearing these big rubberized gloves. This stuff stinks so bad, you really don't want it on you, and it sticks to your skin. So I just pour it with this little colander. You can even rinse the bucket with a little bit of fresh water, just to get all that good nutrients out of there. Your colander's gonna slow down as it gets gummed up with weeds and stuff, so you might have to kind of get in there and get some of the stuff out. By the way, this stuff is good to use as compost, so you can use it kind of as a mulch around your plants. It doesn't really hold moisture in very well, but it does contain its own nutrients, so you can use that. But I really just strain this out the best that I can with the colander, and then from here I'll use a pump, a little kerosene pump, to actually siphon it into my watering can. I'll show you how that works in a second. And that's a really easy way, sort of a non-contact way to get it in there, and you can get it on your plants. This is a kerosene pump. They go for probably $5 or $6 online or at the hardware store. And what's nice about them is that you don't have to touch this stuff or spill it all over the place when you're trying to get it into your watering can. So I've got here, my watering can already has some water in it. I'm going to put the intake in here, and then my output down there. Make sure this is tightened, and just get that pumping. And you probably want to dilute this down to maybe 4 parts water to 1 part weed water. And once you've done that, oops. All right, and now I'm good to put this on my plants. You probably don't want to put this on something that you're just about to harvest because it is nasty. But you can put it on any plants that still have a few weeks to harvest. This will pretty much satisfy your nutrient needs if you're picking your weeds and saving them and then letting them decompose. So I'm watering my flax here with my weed water, my synthetic manure. Flax doesn't need a ton of nutrients, but this will really satisfy the flax. It doesn't need any additional fertilizer other than what's in the ground and what I'm adding with the weed water here. Like I said, I haven't had to buy fertilizer in several years because this is what I use to satisfy most of my nutrient needs. So give it a try. Hope you find it helpful. I love the nutrients from those weeds. Man, this stuff stinks.